There you go. I'm going to assume that's coming through clearer. My throat's a little tough. So I am Tim Nairnberg, and this is Georgina Speaks. But tonight I wanted to speak about my personal situation in terms of kind of come to a crossroads in my life. I turned 70 next year. Dennis and Jerry retired. And then with the economy the way it happened this year, and I landed and jobs that I had got canceled, I've been kind of scrambling all summer to figure out where do you go from here and whether it's going to come back next year. It might take 2 years, and I'm in no mood. I've I have consulting stuff I do for construction. I have full construction packages that I can provide to people, trades, spreadsheets for doing your estimates and that kind of stuff. So I'll be consulting in that category. And if someone easy to get along with comes along, might build another house. I might not. I had a couple scheduled for next year projects, but everybody's so unsure of the economy. So that's where I've landed. And anybody who knows me knows that my favorite thing to do is waste money. And by waste money, I mean find people that need it and get it to them. And one of my biggest wastes in the last 10 years was, last 5 years, actually, I should say, finished up. It wasn't a waste. I kid about that. Anywhere I put money where it's helping somebody, I've always had a good feeling about it. I had almost, I read volumes about empathy and the streak of empathy that I have in relation to the different things I do in that regard comes from a place specifically, and comes from my upbringing. I had a good right and wrong upbringing in my household, and that was fine. But by my upbringing, I mean my abuse. I was sexually abused as a child, and I've made no mistake of that. And I'll discuss that a little bit tonight when I get to going through my videos. But what I wanted to do, I made a decision that the rest of my life is going to be spent on service of others in every capacity that I can. Any way that I can do that, I'll do it. And I've done my share of it over the course of my adult life. And in recent years, I took on music in a real sense of the word. I've always played guitar. My kids always thought I was quite the entertainer. But about 10 years ago, I finally told Paul, after I'd been telling him forever, I know I got one good album in me. I'm ready now. And he handed me off to John Connors, his son, and Connor Bowden. God love him. We all miss him. And the two of them kind of went at my work. And I had odds lyrics here and there, different lyrics. And so I started completing songs, and we just started producing them. And all of my, and in the end, all songs that I produced, 90% of them were in support of an issue that was dear to my heart. So I'm just going to go through these one at a time, and I'll present them as I do. For one of the first ones I did was my Town of Georgina song, because it's no secret how much I love this town and everything it's given to me, taking care of my children and now my grandchildren, and I have a great grandchild. So the first song I did was my Town of Georgina song, and I'll just when I talk about this stuff, I'll swing into a clip, and that'll be the first song that I do. And the video on this song opens with a big old picture of Danny Wheeler, and you all remember him. I know you do. And so he was close to my heart too. So that's that one. The next one is Town of Georgina is a lovely place to be. You can hunt, fish, and walk your dog and raise your family. When I first got here, I didn't think I'd stay. Now a team of wild horses couldn't drag me away. That I did a song about with my adult memories of being abused as a child and outside the home, and it was kind of funny. It was just like a nasty little ditty about it, and I played it one day for Connor Bowden while we were looking to do something else, and he said, "Oh, we got to do that one." And I said, "Really? I didn't plan on it." And he said, "No, let's do it." So we did it. We did the music. I took it to a videographer I know, And he took me to an animator with 30 years of experience in that fully moving animation, and he animated it for me. And I flew to different countries to present that video and my personal story, so that once again in service of others, and it's something I always do. So that's and it's called Victims No Longer, and it's named after a book about that subject matter by one of the foremost authorities on it, a psychologist named Mike Liu. And he's actually, I've had many conversations with him since I did this video 8 years ago, whenever I did it. So that's my Victims No Longer. And then after that.
And our next guest is not only a musician and an all-around nice guy, he's also a survivor. He is an adult survivor of childhood sexual abuse. And we welcome Tim Danbrook. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you very much.
It's good that you're here.
Good to have you here. Thanks for having me.
You have brought a music video.
Yes.
And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the video, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to you about a couple of things that I think are really important. So let's take a look at the video.
Okay. Scallywag or two, you touch me and I'll touch you. What I didn't know, how could I grow? And I didn't know. Oh, child gets fed. Mother Margaret puts them all to sleep. And the devil wept happy tears. And the child smiles no more fear. And his masterpiece, it was complete. And his masterpiece took him all around the world, looking for the little boy that thought he was a little girl. And his masterpiece took him all around the world, caring for the little boys, caring for the little girls.
Hang on, I just got to move this along. So I made a list here. I have the clips I intend to use. Then, oh yes, my next one is one of my favorite songs. It's called Methadone Doctors. And what it is about, well, methadones are kind of an odd thing because it's a godsend for some people, but the problem with it is that I know this one addresses specifically. There's 3 clinics, we're familiar with them, and they're owned by a group of doctors, or one doctor with a bunch of doctors, but 7 doctors carry 3 times the normal patient load. They provide no group services, they provide no counseling. You show up there and they do a Zoom meeting because the guy's sitting at home in his desk. And I've attended them with family members and friends and gotten halfway through those interviews, whether they're going to up the dose or give them their next dose, and the doctor realizing he hasn't even got the right patient file. So separate from all that, those 7 doctors billed the government in 2016 $25 million. And here's my beef. Pay them $1 billion, I don't care. But these are the highest educated people in our society, the most respected people in our society, among them. And that's what they're doing, taking advantage of people in that position. And many people that go to the methadone clinic, they're ready. If it was required that they attend meetings and prove that they have and do a group session, a process with an end game. We'll give you this dosage. After 6 months, we'll cut it in half, keep you going for another 6, and then over a 2-year period, there's the end game. A lot more people would be successful. Now, there are people that find success through the methadone project, but what they do is they're going to meetings and they're doing methadone to keep their as part of their program. But what those doctors do is unscrupulous. And enough about that. So that's my Methadone Doctor song. I did that, was one of the next ones I did. So after that, let me just figure out what I'm doing here.
elephant has left the room and he's dancing in the streets, smashing cars and kicking doors. And all the mothers tweet, their sons and daughters are hooked on drugs and living incomplete. And doctors and lawyers are getting rich and living indiscreet. And I don't know where the children go when they grow beyond their mother. Then they live in fear of others. Well, I just don't know where the children go when they grow beyond their mother. Then they live in fear. Oh, well, I just don't know.
What came next? Oh, yes. So I did a song when all of the residential school stuff was going on. So I started reading about it because I can't keep my nose out of that kind of stuff because it makes me crazy. And so what I ended up doing was I wrote a song and I did an 8-minute monologue. I won't bother with the monologue. I got some clips out of the song here for you. But I did a song called Dead Native Mouse Cheese, and what it was, and for me, that song and the 8-minute monologue I did after all the research that I did, and I was trying to reconcile my mother's Catholic Church and my ancestors, which are British, their actions as it relates to the Native people, and it was my apology to the Native people of Canada for the actions of my mother's Catholic Church and my ancestors, to whatever degree that they were involved in whatever, So this is how I understand things. Music is a spiritual thing. It comes from your soul, no matter who you are. If you're writing something, any creativity comes from your soul, and it's your personal contribution. And this is mine. And when I completed it, I sent it out to people in the Native community that I knew, and to be sure that how I had presented was both accurate and respectful. And I got good reviews. And in recent years, I actually sent it to a guy by the name of Friar Hans. He's in Germany, and he was stepping down as the Pope's chairman of the Pope's worldwide pedophile committee. They were doing what they were doing, but I had seen an interview of his, and I considered him to be at least an honest broker trying to get a solution. Whether he gets there or not, I don't know, but I sent it to him, and he took the time to respond nicely and with some kind words and thoughtful. So that was good. So that's my native song. It's called Dead Native Mouse Cheese, and I have a clip and I'll play it as part of this presentation. And
The banquet hall was busy. The Prince of Wales stood tall. The bishop with the Saudi prince who just happened to be in the hall. He sat at the nobles' table, grinning like a Cheshire cat. The Prime Minister of Canada, man of the hour, and his entourage of big fat rats. The Queen rose as she rang the bell. May I have your attention, please? We wish to thank the Prime Minister for this 50 pounds of dead native mouse cheese. 50 pounds of dead native mouse cheese. 50 50 pounds of dead native mouse cheese. And the bishop asked the prime minister, do you harvest this in the wild? He said, yes, it comes in pieces about the size of a small native child. And the wind howls through the trees and down the mountain and across the plains and out to sea. Chief held court and the shaman smoked his pipe, and the women danced so gracefully. Chief held court and the shaman smoked his pipe, the children all ran free. Children all ran free. Well, I'm just a silly old white guy, but it seems to me these natives had it going on. They loved old Mother Earth from sea to sea. These natives had it going on, and their children all ran free. Well, the prime minister met a little native mouse, and all he needed was a tiny piece of cheese. The prime minister had 50 pounds, so he stomped that mouse, and I'm keeping this all for the queen and me. And the mothers cried a river that found its way to sea, carried all the little souls that are coming back to me. Said Mother Earth, now the children will run free. Said Mother Earth, now the children will run free. Dead mouse cheese is a delicacy of royals and aristocrats, crooked politicians in the colonies and their entourage of big fat rats. It's made from the blood and the sweat and tears of shackled slaves and their indentured peers, native children and their mothers' tears, and it's made by big fat rats.
What's next? Oh, yes. Injustice makes me crazy, as you know, as you're probably gathering by now. And what's my part in that and why do I care so much, I don't really know. But it's just something that's always been ingrained in me. And again, I think it comes from, largely from my abuse and the unfairness of the circumstances that I was subjected to. Now, I don't want to say I've recovered, because you never recover. What you do is you find a way to cope. I recently, I look at people in wheelchairs. I was just talking to someone whom I'm hoping to interview, because I had seen her in a restaurant where we play guitar and stuff 2 or 3 times, and she seems happy. So when I spoke to her, I just wanted to talk to her about the journey of, and especially in this case, this is a person that was recently wheelchair bound and was very healthy before. So there's quite a transition to that. And how do you find happiness in the end? And so it had interested me. And so I have no idea what that was all about, but that's coming soon. I'm going to be interviewing her. And she's actually, she was wheelchair bound as a result of COVID, believe it or not. And she has her name's Kayla, and I'll be interviewing her coming up. So that's another whole subject. So that whole lead-in was about my next song, and it was about hungry children. And the whole notion of any child on the planet going to bed hungry on any given night just makes me crazy. And it's just rich people and non-rich people prioritizing their own, or treating it like it's not their responsibility. And I'm not making any judgments on that, but the circumstances, a child being hungry makes me crazy. So I wrote this song, and it's called Hungry Children, and it's just my 2 cents worth. I kind of made, it's weird because all of it, socialism and communism and, capitalism and ism. I like humanism. That's what I like to practice. And I have been on a spiritual journey for the last 2 or 3 years, and it's been an amazing one. And I've arrived at a pretty interesting place. So now all of my energy is going to be in service of others, and that's part of my journey in terms of finding myself, and a purpose, a final purpose, where something I can settle into for the rest of my life and enjoy. And I do enjoy that. And oddly enough, I haven't got a video for my Cheesecake Chronicles, but I'm going to make a whopper one of those, because I got about 300 pictures I can put out there. And the price of a karma cake, cherry cheesecake, is $1 million smile, and I've got a ton of those. So, okay, so I'm going to get on.
There is a group of children born on the 13th floor, born unlucky in the state of grace. No one feeds them anymore. Well, I look through a million windows, walk through those church doors, and that stained glass and solid oak don't cut it anymore. Well, I did love my life, did love my wife, love the children that she gave me.
On to the next one here. And the purpose of this entire presentation actually is because I'm going to do some fundraising to accommodate what it is I want to do. And I'll get a little bit more into that shortly. I don't want to talk too much about this because there's quite a few videos here. I didn't realize how much work I'd done in support of a number of different issues. So this one is about children in war-torn countries, and it's brutal. They get displaced, and their life is forever changed. And there's circumstances that are unavoidable between nations, and all that's well and good. And then there are times when it's just brutal disregard for life and treating other civilizations like they're less than we are. And the entire Iraq War, for example, a couple of million people, killed. No reason. Whoopsie, nobody's held accountable. That's where we're at. I hate to say colonialism, but it is the next experiment. It's the same thing with what's... I don't want to get into that because I'll rant for about an hour and a half on that one. So anyway, so this is my prayer. I'll just kind of explain. I met a Swamini a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, over a spiritual matter. I was looking for a spiritual solution for a personal problem, and so I met with her and we chatted for a couple hours. I played a couple songs for her, and she told me that when I was done and I was just getting ready to leave, she told me, "Never forget that your songs are prayers." And it opened up my my brain for sure. And now whenever I play music, I'm praying. Which here I'm praying for the children that are wandering the earth as a result of being displaced by billionaires who are trying to build a Riviera of the Middle East or something like that. That's a little cheap shot there. Anyway, this is my bomb children, and it says there's 1 million children in the world staring down the barrel of a gun, and there's times when I feel guilty that my children are the lucky ones, for whatever that's worth. So that's that song.
Hey now, what the tom-tom saying? Hey now, boys in the band be playing. Hey now, I went down to the ocean shore and cast my bread upon the sea. My Muslim, my brothers and my sisters send sweet love and prayers right back to me. Hey now, way up high where the birdies go, that eagle flies. white and blue. My poor Muslim brothers and my sisters, they're gonna bomb the living shit right out of you. There's a million children in this world staring down the barrel of a gun. There's times I feel guilty that my children are the lucky ones.
And oh yeah, one of my favorite efforts here was autism. I wrote a song in support of people affected by autism, both the autism people themselves who are affected and their caregivers, because I'm familiar with a number of, well, Piece of Hearts. I go there all the time and I take them a cheesecake, and they and the kids and the people, the guy, we smile and we have a laugh, and the thing about the people that are caregivers for autistic people is they don't only, come to understand their process so they can better serve them. They provide an environment which they can thrive within the framework of their condition, and that's off the charts amazing. And my heart and my love goes out to them. So I did this song about autism, and it's my 2 cents worth again on a subject. It's just all my music that I write is an expression of how I feel.
Autism is a city built on a higher plane. All the walls are made of glass, but the view is not the same. There's a million stops to get there on a midnight train, and all the tracks run in a circle around my brain.
Es el mundo, todo lo que hay en tu interior.
Childhood any child has ever had, and my wish for you, you may have one too. Autism is a city built on a higher plane. All the walls are made of glass, but the view is not the same. There are a million stops to get there on the midnight train, and all the tracks run in a circle around my brain. All the tracks run in a circle around my brain.
Go back and make sure I got all. I don't know that I got all the songs there. I'll give this a view, and then we'll go from there. And what I'm going to do is I'll split this in between, and I'll present the video in between the portions of it. Okay, I guess I should probably get to my point. My point is, with the work circumstances the way it is, I can do some consulting, and I'm fine. Like, I have my pension, and it's consulting. Oh, another one I didn't present the video of, but it's that I have aerial videos of the entire lakefront, and I got them right away when I had my judicial review being done by the courts on the town's actions, which I lost. And I have it on good authority from people who were there at the time in the judiciary that had I had more than just me standing there and 400 property owners whose rights I was representing were not objecting, the courts are going to view that no matter what. And so that's part of it. And I have no complaints in that regard. I did what I thought was right, but it did cost me $100 grand. The majority of what I had saved I didn't have anything saved. I would have spent it on something else anyway. I don't want to cry the blues. I could care less. Money's never made hide nor hair to me. So, but what I am doing is, as I'm transitioning into, I'm going to be doing nothing but these types of things, service work, period, across the board for the rest of my life, and I'm looking forward to it in service of others. I'm going to start a GoFundMe page, and I'll try to maintain a balance in it of about 3,000. I need probably $1,000 a month in addition to my pension, so that I can still do this stuff. I can do without it, and I can't do this stuff. So it'll just make it possible for me to just carry on like I am. I don't need no committees, thanks. I'm quite capable of deciding what I think is a good thing to do for other people today, and I run into people everywhere in town, and I get lots of thanks, and I get lots of encouragement and gratitude for my attitude. So that's that. So I'm gonna put a GoFundMe page up, and I'll be taking somewhere between 1,000 and 15 out of it. Anything beyond what's needed there, anything above $3,000 that gets raised, will automatically get sent to the Shades of Hope people and the Georgina Food Bank. So if you contribute there, and then so I'll maintain a balance. Anything above that balance goes there, or if I shut the whole thing down, then I'll send the balance there, and I'll maintain whatever balance I maintain so that I have that to drop on monthly for whatever I'm doing. And at the end, and I'll do an accounting as we go along. That's it. That's my thing. I cannot tell you how much I love what I do, and I do lots of it, and I enjoy it, and every day. And it took me a while to figure it out because I was, I don't know, I'm a builder, and I'm still a builder, and I still have a number of people call me every day, and I get them on their way the best I can, or I'll help them get them through the permit process, that kind of thing. And then if something comes up where it's time to put something in the ground, we'll set you up with people who are doing it. My trades are all quite capable. Any one of them could step up and be the project manager. So that's there and it's available, but it's not my focus anymore, and nor will it be going forward. Service of others, that's my thing. And I'll talk about my Sai Baba of Shirdi, whom I've chosen as my spiritual leader, my guru, and his teachings, and I'll be dealing with that. And aside from that, I got to tell you, I'm off to Cuba in December, and I'm looking forward to that. I do a lot down there. There's one thing I want to make really clear. Not a penny that is raised by this effort is going to be spent anywhere but in the town of Georgina or a charity in the North York region. I'm partial to, I did a recent bit for the Pogo people, the pediatric oncology clinic satellite there, and really good people. So any money raised here is staying here. What I do in Cuba, I've always done it out of pocket. It's where all my money went. I spent 30 grand on a house for somebody. I don't want to talk about all that stuff anyway, but I mean, I just cannot, I can't stress enough how little I've cared about money my whole life, and still don't. Other than this is an effort so that I can still do what I want to do. That's my grand speech for the night. And on the issue of the methadone doctor one, I'll talk when I'm presenting as I'm moving forward on all of these issues. I'll be presenting on behalf of the nonprofits in town that sort the different effort. You know, it would be Peace of Hearts, and there's another one for autism, the food bank for hungry children, the Shades of Hope. They get money from everybody because they're so dear to my heart. When I held that little baby squirrel in my hand, and newborn baby, and realized that they cared as much for the well-being of that as we all do about human life, and it was sweet. Anyway, so that's my rant for now, and then I'll clean this up, and I might even re-record it. I'll see. In the meantime, I can't play any music. I'm sorry, but I can't play you any music now, but I have lots here on the computer for you. I'm just kidding. Have a really good night. Love yous all. Take care.
not kind, hides behind your eyes and rips your mind. And you're not pretty, and you're not kind. Oh, kind, hides behind your eyes and rips your mind. And you're not pretty, and you're not kind. Oh, but it's mine. Evil is what evil does. Anger is the voice, and it always was.